Are you very excited that our next guest is here, aren't you?
I'm very excited because I'm a bit of a travel junkie myself, and we want to welcome Metro columnist Julia Diamond today. Hi, Julia.
Hi. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
So you're Metro columnist, travel junkie, self-professed, traveling the world solo, is that correct?
For the most part, solo, yeah. It was sort of a combined trip of sometimes with, friends I met along the way, some friends met me, but most of all solo.
Okay. First of all, one would say, for goodness sakes, a young woman alone, traveling the world, how does one keep oneself safe from harm?
Well, I definitely was aware of, the potential things that could go wrong as a young woman.
Good.
So I started with the basics. One is dressing very conservatively.
Okay.
So let's say, the short skirts that you might be able to get away with in downtown Toronto, maybe not so appropriate traveling in certain spots. So I dressed very conservatively, number one.
Dress conservatively.
Yes.
Right.
Taking taxis at night, don't walk around alone. I spent a lot of time with people that I met, new friends, and we all went out as a group.
That's a good idea. So you're with others, safety in numbers.
What is great about traveling by yourself, and I found this myself because I did travel on my own a couple times, was that you do really meet so many people.
It's true.
You know what? You meet 10 times more people traveling solo than you do if you're with someone else.
Definitely.
And that itself is protection. I mean, when I went, I think I was a bit naive, but you learn as you go, and you just have to be really, really aware of what's going on around you, like if there's someone following you, or if there's someone watching what you're doing, or they're noticing that you're a tourist, or something like that,
Yeah.
And I always was very, very, like, I'd have my money belt underneath the pants, underneath the top, underneath it, like this, you know? So
what I really learned was just to trust my intuition. If I felt that someone was a little sketchy, instead of, really trying to dispel that myth, I just kind of trusted my intuition and went with the flow.
Yeah, went with the flow. What are some of the places you've been that are really, really cool that just like stay with you? Like, obviously everybody takes these trips and they go, wow, I just remember so plainly the first time I went to blank. Where'd you go?
Yeah. Well, the most recent trip, of course, was the trip around the world, where I went to 29 countries.
Is this what we're seeing right now?
Right.
Yes, this is a sort of a video compilation of what my trip was like. This is me saying goodbye to my father and getting ready to go for a year. And actually, it was pretty tough just leaving my parents, so that, didn't see them at all for a year's period of time. So again, I went to 29 different countries, started in London, went to Morocco. This is me in London, having a great time.
You look
Kim
like
Jong-il there, it looks like. Okay.
So traveled through...
Okay, what the hell is this, baby?
Now, this is an air guitar championship in Paris.
Oh, thank God, I thought he was having a stroke.
No, I actually have a real love for the air guitar, so I was able to get a little private lesson.
You can buy the one.
I was in that shoe. I saw it in that very shoe. I'm pretty sure it was that shoe, or one very similar to it.
There you are in the Serengeti?
I have a very similar picture.
This is a festival in Germany. Generally, I don't wear the strange outfits.
Festival
Or
of the Colored Hair.
This is the Dead Sea covered in
that
therapeutic
you? Oh
mud.
my God.
Is that you?
That's me, yeah.
Oh, okay.
These are some gentlemen mudding up.
Nice.
And this is, of course, the Dead Sea where you can float.
You can float. And there you are on a camel, you're just telling us.
This was Morocco.
Wow.
Probably, you asked one of the highlights. That was definitely one of them. The just beautiful landscape, and you're, trekking through the desert on a camel. We spent the night sleeping out under the stars, so that was definitely one of the
amazing.
Is it as
best.
cold as they say it gets in the desert at night?
It was a little chilly.
Yeah?
Definitely. Petra in Jordan, again, one of the most fantastic parts of the whole trip.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Indiana Jones, so this is my my chance to sort of live the childhood dream.
Right, you should carry a bull whip. Okay. Now, where are you going through here? You're saying shush because there's alligators or crocodiles or
hippos, actually.
Hippos.
They're very vicious.
Now,
They're hungry,
hippos,
hungry.
hippos are the animal that actually kill the most humans in Africa. Not the lion or the leopard, but the hippo is actually very dangerous.
The Great Wall of China, for goodness sakes.
I think you guys will appreciate this.
Oh yeah, I read about this on your website. Oh my gosh, and it wasn't as good as you thought it might be.
Yeah. Now that was actually me eating dogs. Sorry, I am a dog lover, but
Now you are after you've tasted them, right? I kid, come on.
That's right. Gorilla trekking in Uganda, definitely a highlight to be face to face with a 400-pound silverback mountain gorilla.
Whoa.
That's quite the experience. So
And then did you tell them to back off? I've eaten dog and I'll eat gorilla next? Am I have to?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
It's got to be tough. But
Wow.
being gone that entire time for a whole year, how did you finance this whole trip?
Yeah, where did this come from?
Well, traveling and writing for Metro, as you know, I've got a weekly column called The Road Warrior. So having a little bit of finances coming in really was what allowed me to stay out on the road so long.
Well,
Plus working and saving up my money. And
is it true though that if you're cautious and plan your trip very well, it doesn't have to, you don't have to stay at the 4-star deluxe hotel with continental breakfast. You can stay at a hostel that doesn't cost too much, or stay with some people that you meet or something, and plan your route carefully, and it won't end up costing you a fortune.
That's true. I stayed in hostels pretty much the entire time. And you know, some places in Southeast Asia, for example, you can get a great little beach bungalow for $10 Canadian, the equivalent of. So by staying in hostels, not only do you get a chance to meet other travelers, but your budget, it helps save some money.
Some of the hostels in Europe are fantastic. They're clean, they're nice, and other ones, maybe not so much.
Like that movie called Hostel?
Other ones, maybe that's where you'll get some of your horror stories for your
now,
website.
the problem is that movie is ruining the hostel industry. You know, I saw it after I got back, and I swore, you know, Dad, this is not what it was like. I can promise you.
Okay, good.
So people need to know that hostels are wonderful, cheap, and a really great way to meet people.
Okay, the biggest question of all, what the hell did the dog taste like?
Well, actually,
Was it like
was it like chicken?
It tastes like chicken, but a little bit like poodle.
why? No. It tasted very much like sole, like a white fish.
Okay.
It wasn't fishy, but more to that side rather than the chicken. And to tell you the truth, it was tasty.
Really?
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
So you would have coffee and a Great Danish again?
Now, my concern is, though, it's important. I don't want to encourage this type of eating because it's not something you really want to encourage. But I figured, you know, when in South Korea, why not give it a little try?
Wait a minute, where's Fluffy?
Yeah.
Where the hell's Fluffy? We're checking your purse, Julia.
No.
I'm sorry, I'm kidding.
He's getting out of control
I know.
here.
But I think there's something interesting to say, you know, why is it okay if we eat beef? No problem. But then there are certain taboos. So it's interesting just to think of the taboos surrounding food in our culture.
Well,
that's true.
Travel Junkie website, okay? You've got lots and lots of great tips and stuff. What else are we going to find on the website just for young travelers?
Well, I encourage people to write in, and if they'd like to pitch me a story, you mentioned.
What I was saying. I got a few.
The team is open to that, and we really want new contributors who have a passion about travel. So by all means, you know, pitch away. And in addition to that, we just launched a new a television component. So there'll be videos, and I've got some great shots of me eating actually goat brain, another thing that you'll get a kick out of.
See, that I don't find weird at all.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
So yeah, our new television component is kind of a fun thing for the site.
Where's it going to air?
It's up now, actually.
On the website.
Yeah,
on the website. Oh, I thought
Yeah,
you
on
meant
the
television
website.
component, as in, okay,
Yeah,
video
on the
component.
website, the Travel Junkie. Yeah.
Well, great. Good to
It's
you.
such a good website. I was
Thank
all
you
over it
so
last night and quite enjoyed it, and I think it's great tips for young travelers. It's fantastic. I'm glad I wish it was there when I was traveling.
Yeah.
Okay, so for more information, you can visit www.thetraveljunkie.ca, and it's a great website.